No two Minecraft speedruns are the same, but when you play enough, you end up doing a lot of the same things in runs. Muscle memory, awareness, and game knowledge are some of the most important skills to have when speedrunning, which is why today, I'm taking everything these speedrunners thought they knew about this game and throwing it out the window. I will be modifying existing Minecraft worlds to prank them by using wrong structures, messing with their muscle memory, and deploying deadly traps.
Oh my god.
Let's get right into it.
Hey. Temple seed, they said. Enter.
The runners load into a seed where they are instantly greeted with a desert temple. After dealing with some annoying cobwebs, they go to mine into the loot room. In typical speedruns, players stand on top of the sandstone as they mine it so they can start falling as fast as possible. But these speedrunners clearly don't trust me, so every single one of them breaks the sandstone without standing on it, which reveals the trap, as well as the loot chests in completely different spots.
What the f-
Now this trap may look harmless, maybe annoying at best, but the circumstances make it outright deadly. Gradient Gauntlet is a custom seed tournament, and this is seed 4 out of 6. Players gain points depending on how fast they complete each seed, and at the end of seed 5, the top 4 players in terms of points will advance to the final seed. Considering there are over 30 players who signed up, it's very important to not lose any time, which is why when Jacko fell into the trap, he was put at a huge disadvantage against the rest of the runners. Jacko is currently tied for 3rd place with 8 points, and this world reset costs him a minute. This could easily be the difference between getting the points needed to advance and barely missing out. When routing a desert temple overworld, speedrunners look for 5 things: trees, animals, gravel, water, and a way to enter the nether. The runners would have already seen trees, gravel, and a lava pool, and since I so generously put enough food in the desert temple, the runners don't need to cook animals. This means the only thing runners need to look for is water, and how hard could that be? Most runners initially turn to the river, but it appears it has frozen over as all the water has been replaced with packed ice. And no, packed ice does not turn into water when broken, and it does not melt.
Oh. They made this interesting. I think they made it so that the only water you can get is up here. Intentionally.
The runners decide to swim all the way up the waterfall to get the one water source. This is one of 3 ways the runners could have got water on this seed, but this was probably the fastest.
Wee. Wee.
Japunk leads the pack entering the nether, with Eric being 5 seconds behind. The runners instantly spot a stables bastion, and they will quickly realize what I had changed about it.
What?
I had replaced all the blackstone with glass, allowing it to be see-through. While you may think this is an advantage as you can see which part of the bastion you need to route, it actually makes it so much more difficult. Not being able to see the blocks makes it so that the runners need to rely on their muscle memory to effectively route the bastion. Stables is the bastion with the most variation and highest skill ceiling in terms of routes. The first player to end up leaving the bastion and reach the fort is Andronicus, but his lead is deceptive. Andronicus decides to only trade gold from the single triple. While this is the fastest bastion route, it is not at all consistent, often providing not enough resources to complete the run. Andronicus got enough obsidian, but only 1 explosive and 13 pearls. By playing off of these barters, Andronicus is trading the fastest forward enter for a much worse quality endgame. Japunk is another player who opted to play the single triple, but unlike Andronicus, he wasn't satisfied with the quality of his trades, and he went down to the gap. The gap route is slower but more consistent than the single triple route, as you are trading more gold. But you can take it further. One of the more recent developments in terms of bastion routing is the triple to gap route, where runners take all the gold and piglins from a triple rampart and bring them down to the gap. This is a super consistent route that has become the standard for most stables bastions. This route has dozens of variations depending on the different ramparts, gap location, and terrain. This particular bastion houses the hardest triple the gap variation. If the runners want to perform this route, they are forced to take all the pigs through the bad gap underneath the triple chest to the good gap on the other side of the bastion. This is the hardest bastion route in the game. To execute it, you need to play perfectly. There is no room for mistakes. The glass in the lower part of the bastion is an open challenge to the runners. How much have you practiced? Are you comfortable enough with the hardest bastion route in the game to rely on your muscle memory? Only one player was able to perform this route. Eric was able to execute it flawlessly and is rewarded with a crazy amount of pigs for a very fast split. Saravel also tried to perform the route, but he got a lot of his piglins stuck, which slowed down his bastion by a lot. What surprised me is that there were a lot of runners who didn't even consider going for this route. You might have noticed that I rotated the gold blocks in the gap, and for the triple rampart I simply mirrored the hallway where all the gold blocks are, as a fun prank. I thought this would be fairly obvious, and while many runners were able to grab the blocks, other top players like Aquacord, Mr. Budgie, and Voxio weren't able to find them. Similar to how 90% of my viewers aren't able to find the subscribe button. So hey, if you're part of the 10%, then thank you. Subscribing is the best way to support the channel, and the amount of support I've received recently has been spectacular. This difference in routes creates a pretty notable consequence. Runners who only play the gap get 4 explosives, while the runners who got gold from both the triple and gap get 7, meaning that Eric, Japonk, and Saravel are able to go for the 0 cycle later in the run, while the others need to either rely on a perch or waste time getting extra explosives. The fort is deceptively close to the bastion, and the runners have a funny surprise for them waiting at the spawner.
Okej, jakbym drewna nie miał, dziękuję.
Why can't I break it? Hello? Oh, it's like hardened wood or whatever. That's like a thing.
A, bo to są te petrified slaby, okej, dobra, to jest ciekawe.
As soon as they enter the stronghold, the runners are put into a sticky situation reminiscent of Last Seed's End Dimension. It's here where runners with low explosives decide to hit up the library. Eric is the first to enter the end, only to find it a bit more wet than usual. All that is standing between her and first place is the 0 cycle. Eric is able to hit the 0 cycle and claim first place. Contrary to Eric, Japonk does not go for the 0 cycle. Luckily for him, he is able to get a fast perch and finish in the top 3, alongside Antu, who also went for the 1 cycle. Aquacord and Mr. Budgie round out the top 5. Aquacord was someone who had to get string from the library for extra explosives, and even though he entered the end after Mr. Budgie, he was able to beat him by hitting the 0 cycle. Looking at the points after this seed, we have a good idea of who can reach the finals. The benchmark has shifted, and any player who reaches 14 points will guarantee themselves a spot in the top 4. Japonk has already guaranteed himself one of the 4 spots. Aquacord needs 1 more point, so as long as he completes the following seed at all, he will occupy the 2nd spot. Eric needs top 5. Saravel and Mr. Budgie both need top 3. If Andronicus wants a spot in the finals, he will have to win this next seed outright. The players with 8 points cannot guarantee a spot in the finals. Voxio, Vimsy, and Jacko will have to rely on both a high placement and at least 3 out of Eric, Saravel, Mr. Budgie, and Andronicus to perform poorly. This is the last chance to reach the finals. After this seed, most runners' stories will end here. It's now or never. The runners spawn in a cave. Upon surfacing, they notice their source of iron, a jungle temple.
It's the same seed.
Jungle temples typically contain 2 chests, with the second one being in a hidden room which is accessed by flicking these levers in a specific order. Not a single soul fell for the desert temple trap, Jacko. But this jungle temple is a different story.
Oh my god.
O kurwa.
Oh.
I fell for it. I actually fell for it. That is a beautiful trap. I mean, I bet a bunch of people will follow for it.
The consequences of this trap are the same as the last one. The runners that fall for the trap lose 30 seconds to needing to reset, which on the penultimate seed is something you absolutely do not want to happen. This actually isn't so bad. Literally every single player fell for this trap. If everyone loses time, no one does.
That's a lot of arrows. That is... Oh, there's only one. It would be my light. Okay, that didn't even do anything. It's down.
After resetting and successfully looting the temple, the runners will realize that something is wrong. There is something about this seed that is much different to any of the 4 they played before this, for a few reasons. Foremost, the runners only get 4 iron from the temple. This is enough for a bucket and flint and steel to enter the nether, but not an iron pickaxe. Second of all the wood in a 200 block radius has been replaced with nether wood. This doesn't change anything except for the fact that it prevents runners from crafting a boat, though it doesn't stop them from trying. These items are so useful to the point they are used in almost every speedrun, so having to play an entire seed without either makes it so much more daunting. Eric leads the pack entering the nether, slightly ahead of Mr. Budgie and Japunk. Wait, why is Japunk playing this? He's already guaranteed to reach the finals. He doesn't have to play at all. Turns out, Japunk has ulterior motives, as in the participant chat, he mentions he wants 20 points. This is a feat that only he can accomplish at this point in the tournament. Right now, he's the dominant player, and is going to let everyone know. Upon entering the nether, the runners are met with a less than ideal spawn, above a lava lake with a low amount of blocks and no boat. Most runners decide to just tank some fall damage onto the bastion, except for Japunk, who does this. Like, come on, this guy is just aura farming at this point.
Okay. Little bit of noob.
The runners begin to look for iron in the bastion chests, as they all still lack an iron pickaxe. But as time goes on, more of them realize they don't have to. See, before each seed, I provide the runners with seed notes to give them an idea of what to expect. The runners knew they were only getting 4 iron from the temple, but the next note is a lot more peculiar. Guaranteed 16 pearls and 8 explosives in Bastion. I can imagine this got the runners really curious, since in no other seed notes do I divulge this information, as getting pearls and explosives from the Bastion is expected. Why wouldn't it be? As the runners check more and more Bastion chests, they notice a trend. As opposed to the iron and obsidian that the runners usually hope for while checking chests, they instead are greeted by ender pearls and glowstone.
So this is a do you know your chest kind of bastion, right?
The runners won't need to trade with the piglins at all. This seed is the definition of anti-meta. All the strategies these runners spend hundreds of hours practicing go out the window, as they have to adopt a completely new way of playing the game on the fly. And what makes this so ironic is that they just played this exact seed.
It's the same seed.
The runners eventually realize how the seed is meant to be played, but some realize quicker than others. After gathering all the pearls and explosives from the bastion, the runners head to the fort, and while they don't have any fire res potions, the enchanted golden apple provides the runners with 5 minutes worth of fire resistance, which should be more than enough time to get all the rods. The final seed note states that there is an important item in the fort, and I marked its location with this netherite beacon to ensure they won't miss it. So far, I only fundamentally changed 2 major splits. But hey, why stop there? Because in the chest atop the netherite beacon, I placed 2 lodestone compasses labeled stronghold cords for each dimension. You might have noticed by now that the runners have 0 obsidian, though that won't be a problem, since after collecting their rods, the runners find that the nether compass points directly back to their home portal. The fastest runner to leave the nether was Saravel, which is really impressive considering he entered the nether a full minute later than his competitors. He was able to save some time due to the fact that he was quick to figure out how to play the bastion, but what solidified his lead was this absolutely insane pearl. Saravel is the first to start following his compass, but Jacko and Budgie are not far behind. While traveling, they also restock on wood, food from animals, and wool from sheep. This nether had left the runners starved for materials. Much to the runners' relief, the stronghold is only about 100 blocks away from the temple, and after digging down and entering the portal room, the runners are ready to enter the end. Upon entering, the runners find that there seems to be a lack of end island, which, that shouldn't be possible. You can't just delete the end island, right? Upon further inspection, the runners use the F3 menu to realize that they are at height limit, 200 blocks above the main end island. This end fight ends up being pretty boring. No one had the reaction time to be able to go for a 0 cycle, nor had the materials to go for a ground 0. One by one, the runners proceed to get perches. Saravel is the first to defeat the dragon, and Budgie and Jacko round out the top 3. These are the final points these runners will get, and it's enough to earn Saravel and Budgie slots in the finale. Unfortunately for Jacko, he needed them to do badly. His now 12 points won't surpass Aquacord's 13. He tried his best, but his best just won't cut it. This also cements the fate of a few other players. Despite Voxio also finishing in the top 5, he, along with Andronicus and Vimsy, will all fall short. There's one finale slot remaining, and only 2 runners left who can claim it. Eric and Aquacord are going to be battling it out for the final spot. There are 3 possible outcomes. The first is that Aquacord completes the seed and Eric finishes outside the top 5. This would cause Aquacord to advance to the finals and Eric to fall short. The second is that Eric finishes in the top 5 and Aquacord fails to complete the seed. This would cause Eric to advance to the finals and Aquacord to fall short. The final possible outcome is that Eric finishes in the top 5 and Aquacord completes the seed for 1 point. Or, Eric finishes in the top 10 and Aquacord fails to complete the seed. This would cause them to tie and would allow for the both of them to advance. Unfortunately, it would turn out that this race would have ended before it even started. Eric would end up taking a death in the fort and resetting the world at 9 minutes. And to make matters worse, they weren't even able to find the lodestone compasses. Their first pearl completely missed the fort, which by itself is a notable time loss, but the nail in the coffin is the fact that they made up for that play by being able to throw a better pearl further into the fort, ultimately resulting in them not seeing the netherite beacon and therefore the lodestone compasses. Aquacord rounds out the top 5, cementing himself into the finals and taking the final spot. This tourney started with upwards of 30 players, and now it's down to 4. These runners have proved that they deserve a spot in the finals. While Mr. Budgie hasn't played the most consistently, he has proven that he is a force to be reckoned with and can absolutely demolish the competition if he locks in. Saravel had phenomenal performances in Seeds 1 and 5, and did well enough in the rest of the seeds to carry himself to 3rd place in terms of points. Aquacord was the player to look out for going into this tournament. He's played incredibly consistently, having 4 top 5 finishes with 2 of them being 2nd place. Japonk is on another level. Hang on. Japonk is on another level. This guy is crazy. This entire tournament, I felt as though he is inside my head because he's been playing every seed so perfectly, with the only time I've been able to best him being the most recent one. Despite this, he still has the most amount of points in this tournament and has shown that he is the best player to have signed up. This is the final seed. The points the runners have spent all tourney collecting don't matter anymore. The first one to complete this seed will win Gradient Gauntlet and receive the grand prize of me making a video on a topic of their choice and uploading it to my main channel. I've neglected to mention this detail until now, but I hope it provides some context as to why so many people signed up. So without further ado, let's get to the final seed. The winner of Gradient Gauntlet will be the first person to beat the seed. The 25-minute time limit, that's out the window. This could be the plum-offs, and the players will have no idea. Oh, they're starting!
Oh,
okay,
here we
I was
go.
not looking at the Discord. Maybe I don't have. The runners spawn in to find themselves surrounded by sand and sandstone, and they instantly know where they are. You can actually spawn underneath this house in vanilla, but what the runners probably didn't expect is that they would be in the end dimension. Yeah, Japonk tries to jump into the void, and notices that it's a barrier floor. Aquacord does as well, same as Saravel. Well, where is Mr. Budgie? Mr. Budgie is just 30 seconds late. Okay, that is not great. But yeah, this is a very funny seed. Aquacord choosing to death reset. Aquacord suffocates
resetting.
and is back
Ooh,
in
there we
the
go.
overworld. This is a BT seed.
Top of the BT.
Yes, some very interesting items in the
What am I
BT, items that
fascinating
you
right now?
do not usually find
I don't know what these are.
in a buried treasure.
Uh,
Aquacord found the trees. These trees aren't normal trees. They don't usually generate underwater.
Sure.
You don't know that.
Maybe. Maybe trees do spawn underwater. Sarathel, mining sand, Japonk. It looks like Aquacord might just run away with this.
Yeah, no one else has seemed to figure out that.
You don't usually
know.
spawn in the end. Like, I don't think anyone's
Yeah.
tried. Mr. Budgie
Oh,
is resetting,
Japonk.
I think. Japonk is suffocating. Very, very exciting. Mr. Budgie is also suffocating.
Wow.
3 runners have figured it out.
Alright, Suraville need to figure it out, like, pretty soon. Unless they want to get left in dust.
Aquacord, Japonk, and Mr. Budgie make their way to the lava pool, but Saravel doesn't realize he needs to death reset. I'm guessing he must have just assumed there is something below the house, because he spends the next few minutes just going to town on it.
Boing.
Aquacord
What
is
is
in the nether.
happening?
I'm going to swap Aquacord. He found the boing
Whoa.
button. Does he boat clutch? No.
Oh no.
Okay, he hits the
Okay.
slime block. That is really good. For
Anything
him.
else I need? Oh.
Aquacord spawning
What are
a
you?
dolphin in the end. Deciding to cook a cod.
Okay.
Boing. Gets the jump boost. He
Alright.
just needs to boat clutch, and he gets it.
Beautiful.
And we have Japonk entering very shortly after. Japonk seeing the boing button. Going to jump up. Will he boat clutch or will he just eat the fall damage? He does eat the fall damage. Which,
Wait,
you agree
this
with that?
seed looks so familiar.
does it now?
It kind of does.
I wonder where you could have ever seen it before.
I don't know.
Aquacord entering the treasure bastion from the top.
And also, I don't know if I'm just gaslighting myself. The bedrock wall.
The
it's
bedrock
beautiful.
wall doesn't want the runners to he's far ahead. Look at Japunk.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Dude!
Very
No
sorry for Japunk.
Aquacort's dead.
Oh my god. GG.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. This is insane.
We just need Survival to figure out that they need to die. Oh, I thought they were gonna start pillaring up. Yeah.
There's just no way you're able to survive. Like 10 crystals,
Oh,
maybe.
Aquacord ran back to their stuff.
Yeah, but there's
But-
big lava. Very not nice.
Big Lava seemed to have just kind of lost
Does Aquacord have
everything
a
of use,
iron pick?
except for like 7 pearls. I don't think they pick up their pick.
Aquacord is able to get back to his stuff, but he's missing his iron
the one
pickaxe.
thing that burned is my pickaxe.
Saravel was finally able to figure out he needed to death reset 7 minutes into the seed, and unbeknownst to me and my co-commentator, Mr. Budgie had died twice.
Like, are you serious, dude? Am I just dead? Okay. I didn't realize that would happen.
Just swimming.
That's true. Saravel fans really want Japunk to die right now. I'm going to put Japunk in the lead because it looks like Japunk is out of the bastion. Aquacord losing his pickaxe, not very good, but I will also enthrall you to look at Aquacord's screen because it is pretty funny.
There is some silliness going on there. Some good old water in the in bottom treasure.
Oh yeah, the piglins, they love to swim.
Yeah, they seem like it.
Minsa, does this seed seem, does it pick your brain?
It does, and I don't know why.
Aquacord breaking the spawner, even though the seed notes will tell you where the fort is. A very interesting play for sure. Maybe he just doesn't trust me. Maybe he saw it
Honestly?
say pause and thought it was like 1,000 blocks pause.
If you told me anything, I would probably wouldn't trust you either.
You know what? That's pretty fair. God, I can't wait to do this tourney again, like, in a few months. This is gonna be so fun. It looks like Japunk is planning on blaze betting. I don't know if he sees that it's actually 2 spawners stacked on top of each other.
There we go. Oh, they're still gonna do it. Oh, no, they're not.
They're just mining out. Very scary because it's just so easy to get spawned on. Especially with 2 spawners ticking at the same time. This is like a double spawner, but like it's a 2-in-1 package deal.
Yeah.
Aquacord doesn't have an iron pickaxe, but I think has a bunch of pearls. Opting to go for the Pyre now. Gets the direction of the spawner, and what do you know? It is pause of the Bastion.
It kind of looks like my PB seed.
Kind of looks like your
But,
PB
like,
seed. How certain are you?
Not really. But like this like mound of netherrack, like, you know, like behind Japunk right now, like it looks like where Wither Skeleton was one time.
Didn't your
I think
PB
it was
have home portal?
It was either. Oh wait, no, not my PB. What was it? It was or like my other sub 10. I don't know.
Listen, this may or may not be your other sub 10 seed. May or may not. I was gonna say I plead the 5th, but I'm not American, so I actually can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to.
I'll plead the 5th.
You'll plead the 5th for me. Thank you, Minsa.
Yeah.
Japunk, after measuring, able to re-enter Aquacord at the fort. It looks like Japunk is at least 1 split ahead of everyone. Looks like he's going to be running away with it. Japunk is on his way to Cords as Aquacord and Mr. Budgie enter the fort. Japunk is a full split ahead of 2 of the scariest players in this tournament. For him to mess this up, something will have to go insanely wrong. And Japunk entering the stronghold, very low health. We'll see how... He misses?! Oh my goodness.
Whoa. That
Mr. Budgie
is-
and Aquacord are back in this! During his measuring split, Japunk didn't wait long enough before throwing his Eye of Ender. This caused him to be desynced, meaning that his measurement was incorrect, and his Ninja Rainbot gave him the wrong chords. The worst part? This was completely preventable. If Japunk had waited just a second more, he would not have been desynced and have measured correctly, and would be in the stronghold by now.
Anyway, Budgie measuring eyes now, which is
Yeah, it looks like Aquacord was
really
about
good.
to set down his portal very soon. Is he at the correct chords? I've got no clue.
oh.
I'm gonna be honest, I do not remember.
Aquaquard's here. Place
Yeah.
obsidian.
Mining out basalt with a wood pick. This might give Mr. Budgie time to get back, considering Mr. Budgie's gold pickaxe will mine blocks far faster than Aquacord's wood pickaxe will.
Yeah.
Aquacord is in the stronghold.
All right. Well, this is
Mr. Budgie's in the stronghold.
Normal.
It's a
strong-
now.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Aquacord's in a cobweb.
Oh my god.
Budgie got a spike, so if they don't get in the same cobweb, ooh.
Mr. Budgie almost fell for the trap. Aquacord fell for a second trap.
Why'd I
Aquacord's
fall?
dead!
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This stronghold
This
is full
evil.
of booby
This is
traps.
Evil Gray. This is Indiana Jones as stronghold.
It is an Indiana Jones stronghold.
Oh no.
It looks like Mr. Budgie will be entering the end. Mr. Budgie, exceptionally good at the zero cycle. Do you want to know what I changed about the end Minsa?
Horses everywhere.
I made it possible to zero cycle. I had just opened up the
Oh.
end. Japunk finally reaches the stronghold, but it looks like it's too little too late, as Mr. Budgie has already entered the end. Just going for it. It's back 97. Not the freest zero
Mr. Budgie
cycle in
can
the
read.
world, but it's still very hittable if you know what you're doing. And Mr. Budgie's able to get there in time. First bed, good. Second bed, for height. Bow shot, 2 beds at once. No!
Very
He
solid.
explodes the anchor!
Oh no!
Oh my goodness! What?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, hits the crystal. Second crystal.
It's to bow these crystals down.
He needs to chase down the dragon. Japunk is in the stronghold.
Oh no.
Aquacord needs to get back to the stronghold. Sravel's in the fort. I think anyone can take this.
This is insane.
But everyone, all these runners are on a timer, just waiting. Mr. Budgie just needs to get all the crystals and axe the dragon.
Yeah, that's all. Which isn't much.
It depends on if Aquacord is able to get his stuff, hit the zero, if Japunk's able to hit the zero before Mr. Budgie can get like 2 perches. Which Mr. Budgie has a bow. He might only need 1 and be able to do it. But Japunk is going the wrong way. The portal room.
Japunk.
Down mid. Japunk is in the light. Does Japunk need wood or string or something? That chest has a lot of paper. I don't remember if I
That's a
changed that or not. Is that vanilla?
I don't know.
I genuinely don't remember if I changed that or not. Dang, the winner of Gradient Gauntlet. It all comes down to Mr. Budgie's dragon. He gets the perch. Things are looking very bad for fans of Japunk and Aquacord.
He can't kill the dragon with this perch.
No,
Mr.
does
Budgie,
he have
so-
more arrows? Good spike.
Oh, Mr. Budgie does have arrows. Now bowing the dragon.
It looks like Mr. Budgie might just take this. Aquacord, not able to get to his portal. Japunk, not able to find
Yeah,
the
Mr.
portal
Budgie's
room.
hitting really solid shots on the dragon here.
He's out of
And the
arrows,
perch.
but he gets a perch.
No way
Sit
I
him
won.
Oh my goodness. Mr. Budgie, able to
Mr.
take
Budgie
it.
takes it.
Mr. Budgie wins Gradient.
That went terribly. There's no way. There's no way.
After finishing off the dragon, Mr. Budgie is able to claim first place, making him the winner of Gradient Gauntlet.
No way, right? No way. I won? Dude, oh my god. I thought it was... I can't believe I fumbled 0 like that. I'm actually so happy, dude.
The other 3 runners play for second place, which Aquacord is able to take very quickly after defeating the Ender Dragon. Saravel was able to enter the end only a few seconds behind Aquacord, which is very impressive after losing so much time at the start of the run. It was not enough. Japunk had dominated most of this tournament, but wasn't able to clutch up when it mattered most. 2 small mistakes cost him 6 minutes in the final seed, which absolutely could have made the difference. In this tournament, I gave out consolation prizes in the form of Minecraft skins to the runner-up and the player who achieves the fastest completion. But while creating the format of the tournament, I failed to recognize how impactful tourney points would be outside of granting access to the finals. I thought this was messed up, so I offered Japonk a Minecraft skin, which he declined. This entire tournament was such a wild ride. Watching
Roxy,
all
I
these
have it.
talented speedrunners
Yes.
tap into their problem-solving skills to work around my puzzles live was truly spectacular. Especially the final seed when the tables kept turning and it felt like anyone could win. In my eyes, this tourney was a huge success, and I would like to give a huge thanks to my playtesters and translators, as well as Dino, Hi Guy, and Midseason for commentating, Goldem, HPX, and Shulo for updating the sheet, and an extra thank you to Shulo, being a phenomenal stage ref and helping sort out so much back-end stuff. I couldn't have done it without this amazing crew ensuring the tourney runs smoothly, as well as this awesome cast of runners who made it so much more special. Minecraft is just a block game, but it's the amazing people in this community that truly make it magical. It's thanks to everyone who helped and participated that made this event even possible. I love this community, and I'd like to think that making these videos is my way of giving back to it. So whether you played in this tournament, or if you are just a speedrunner, creator, artist, viewer, or even if this video is the first time you are taking a peek into the speedrunning community, thank you. You are amazing. That's gonna be all from me. Make sure to like the video and subscribe. Subscribing is one of the best
Hold
ways
it right there. Did you really think you were ending the video?
What? Budgie? Yeah, I was just gonna tell them to subscribe and fade to black like I always do.
Gray, gray, gray. Don't you remember? You owe me.
I owe you? Oh, the video.
That's right. Now don't you think about ending so soon. We're not done here yet.